Hello guys, this is Eric. Welcome to Daily Abe and welcome to day 2 of our skills training. The 5 skills you need to master in order to grow your network marketing business, in order for you to go pro. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I suggest you click on that button below and turn on the notification bar to have access to all my videos. And also, if you haven't watched the first skill, which is finding prospects, I'll put the link in the description box below. I suggest you click on it right away to have access to it. So let's get to today's business. Once you have identified your prospects, the next skill you need to master is learning how to properly invite them to have a look at your product or opportunity. So today's video is going to circle around that, inviting prospects to understand our product or business. But before we dive deep into that, let's take a moment to talk about the emotions of inviting. There are 4 important rules you need to know. Rule number 1, you must emotionally detach yourself away from the outcome. Our initial goal is education and understanding. So we must focus on helping the prospect understand our product or business, not just recruiting or signing them up into the business. In other words, if we disconnect ourselves from outcome, it makes it more easy. Sometimes it is really difficult to do that because we all join in the business in the hope of getting some new people join us, and when it doesn't happen that way, it really hurts. That is why it is extremely important we disconnect ourselves from such expectations. We should only focus on helping prospects understand our business. If we do this, it will be more fun, and if even we are rejected, it doesn't hurt. But if we become hunters, prospects will run away from us. Alright, so rule number 1, you must emotionally detach yourself away from the outcome. Rule number 2, be yourself. A lot of people become completely different person once they start inviting, and it makes everyone uncomfortable. So you just need to be yourself. Just focus on being your best self. Alright. Rule number 3, bring some passion. Enthusiasm is contagious. Alright. So it's okay to get a little fired up, but you need to be focused. Alright. Listen to some music that inspires you, and smile when you are on the phone. Alright. Your positive emotions is going to generate into better results. Rule number 4, have a strong posture. This was a really big blow for me. At first I was so insecure. I didn't think anybody would take me serious. But as I watched the professionals, I noticed their posture. They were bold, they were confident, they were strong. So I decided to be strong. I stopped apologizing all the time. Instead of saying, I know I've had a lot of jobs and I'm hoping this will be a life-changing for me, I started saying something like, guess what? I'm sick and tired of the life I've led up to this point, and I've decided to take charge of my life. Do you feel the difference? So just focus on being yourself, but be a bolder self. Be yourself, but be a confident self. Be yourself, but focus on being a stronger self. Alright, so that is the 4th rule. So now that we've set the stage, let's go through the invitation formula. This formula is designed to only be used on a phone call or face-to-face interaction. Alright, it is not to be used via texting or email or through any other form of communication, only on a phone call or face-to-face. Now it works both on warm market, which are people you already know, or cold market, people you meet while living your life. So let's now see the 8 steps to a professional invitation, which might sound complicated, but with a little practice it becomes more easy. So step 1, be in a hurry. Step 2, compliment the prospect. Step 3, make the invitation. Step 4, if I would you. Step 5, first confirmation, get the time commitment. Step 6, second confirmation, confirm the time commitment. Step 7, third confirmation, schedule the next call. Then step 8, get off the phone. All right, so let's dive deep into all these 8 steps. So step 1, be in a hurry. This is a psychological issue. So many people are attracted to someone who has something going on. Okay, so if you start every phone call or a face-to-face conversation giving the impression that you are in a hurry, you see that it makes your invitation more shorter, less resistance, and people will always hear you out. So let me give you some examples for both warm market and cold market. So with a warm market, you can say something like this. Don't try to memorize what I'm saying. Just get a concept and use your own words. Okay, so examples for warm market, you can say, I don't have a lot of time to talk right now, but it was really important I caught you. Do you have a minute? Or something like, I have a million things going on, but I'm glad I caught you. Or I'm running out the door, but it was really important I talked to you. So these are some examples for warm market. Now examples for cold market, people you meet while living your life. You can say something like this. Now isn't the time to talk, but do you have a second? Or I have to run, but the impression must be that you are in a hurry. If you do this, there will be less resistance, there will be no questions, and people will really respect your time. Step 2, compliment the prospect. This is critical. A sincere compliment, and it must be sincere, opens the door for a real communication, and it will make the prospect more agreeable about hearing what you have to offer. Okay, so let me give you some examples for both warm market and for cold market. So for a warm market, you can say something like this. You have been successful and I've always respected the way you've done business. You have always been supportive of me and I really appreciate what you've done for me. This will really fit for someone like a family member. Are you getting it? Or something like, you have an amazing mind for business and you always see things people don't. Or you can say something like, for as long as I've known you, I have thought you are the best at what you do. Don't, like I always say, don't really focus on what I'm saying. Just get the concept and try to use your own words. So these are some examples for warm market. Let me give you some examples for cold market. You can say something like, you have given me some of the best services I've ever received. You are super sharp. Can I ask what you do for a living? Or you have made this a fantastic experience. The key is the compliment must be sincere. You need to find something you can use to compliment the person. This simple step will literally double your invitation results. When you start with urgency and a compliment, you find out that it will become difficult for a person to react negatively to your invitation. People don't hear more compliments every now and then. It feels good, and you find out that your prospects will become more receptive. Such compliments also helps, to open the minds of the prospect, and mostly it helps achieve our goal of education and understanding. So step 3, make the invitation. This is where one size does not fit to all. The reason is because in the invitation there are 3 different approaches. We have the direct approach, we have the indirect approach, then we have the super indirect approach. 3 different approaches. I'm going to give you examples for all 3 approaches. So the direct approach is for people you have influence over. People who look up to you, people who respect you, and people who hear whatever you have to tell them. Okay, so let me give you example for a warm market and a cold market using the direct approach. So example for a warm market using the direct approach, you can say something like this. When you told me you really needed a job, or you wanted to move out of your house, or you wanted to put your kid through college, were you serious or were you just joking? Most often they will all say, oh, I was really serious. So you can say something like, great, then I think I've found a way for you to really solve the problem or make it happen or get it. This is for a situation where an area of their need or desire, then you can use it, right? You can also say something like this: I think I've found a way for us to really boost our cash flow income. Or you can use something like this: are you still looking for a job? Because I've found a way for us to really start a great business. Or you can say something like this: let me ask you a question off the record. If there is this business you can start doing part-time from home, that will gradually replace your full-time income. Would that interest you? So these are examples for warm market. For a cold market, you can say something like this: have you ever thought of diversifying your income? Or something like this: do you keep your career options open? Or do you plan on doing what you are doing for the rest of your life? Are you getting the concept? So these are examples of cold and warm market using the direct approach. So the second approach is the indirect approach. Okay, the indirect approach is one of the powerful tools for you to use to get past the prospect's initial resistance and help them, understand your product or opportunity. Okay, now this is playing down yourself and playing up the prospect's ego. All right, so let me give you some examples for warm market, people you already know, and cold market, people you meet while living your life. Okay, so for a warm market, you can say something like this: I've just started a new business and I'm really nervous. Do you mind if I practice on you? This will really fit for a family member or a close friend or so. Or you can say something like this: I just started a new business, but what do I know? You have so much experience. Would you look at it for me and let me know if I'm making the right move? Or you can say something like this: a friend told me the best thing I could do when starting a new business is to have people I really respect have a look at it for me and give me their guidance. Will you be willing to do that for me if I made it simple on you? So these are some examples for warm markets, people you already know. Now let's see some examples for cold markets, people you meet while living your life. Let's say you talk to somebody in a different country or in a different area where your company is doing business there. You can say something like this: my company is expanding in your area. Would you do me a favor to check out the business for me if it will really work in your area? Or when you meet someone who can really provide a great input on your product or opportunity, you can say something like this: I've started a business with a product I think makes a lot of sense, but I like to get your input. Would you be willing to check it out for me to let me know your opinion? So these are some examples for warm market and cold market using the indirect approach. Now the third approach we're going to talk about is the super indirect approach. Now the super indirect approach is incredibly powerful. It works on a number of psychological levels. In this approach, you are telling the prospects they aren't prospects and that you wanted to find out if they know anybody who will benefit from your product or opportunity. It is incredibly powerful. Let me give you some examples for cold market using the indirect approach. You can say something like: this business I'm in clearly isn't for you, but I wanted to ask, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and would like to add additional cash flow to their lives? Or you can say something like: who do you know that might be looking for a strong business they might be able to run from their homes? You can also say something like this: I'm working with a company that is expanding in your area and I'm looking for some sharp people who might be interested in making some extra income. Who do you know that will fit that description? You can say something like this: who do you know that has hit a wall with their business and might be looking for a new way to diversify their income? In most cases, they are going to ask you for more information before they give you any names. Behind that request is curiosity and intrigue, thinking that this might be for them, but they are not going to admit it yet. So when they say that, you can respond with something like this: okay, I understand. You would like to know more about it before you give me any names, right? Then you can just move to step 4. These are some examples for cold market and warm market. With the super indirect approach, both fits with either cold market or warm market. So you can choose any of the combinations to use on your prospects. Step 4: if I, would you? If I, would you? This question is very powerful. It is by far the most powerful question I've come across in building a successful network marketing business. You can say something like this: if I send you a video, will you watch it? Or if I send you some printed documents, will you read it? If I give you a link to a website with complete presentation, will you check it out? If I invited you to a seminar, would you make it? This question is very powerful for a number of reasons. First, it is reciprocal. You are asking the prospect, you will do something only if they will also do something. As humans, we are likely to react positively to such questions. Second, it puts you in a place of power. You are not begging, you are not asking for favors, you are just offering an exchange of value. And third, it implies that you have something of value. You are saying you are going to do something, but unless the other person is also going to do something in exchange, if you do this, people will really respect what you have to offer. If I would you get results, it gets prospect to say yes, and it makes us achieve our goal of helping the prospect understand our product or service. If you start with some urgency, compliment the prospect and make the invitation and ask if I would you, they are most likely not to say no. Most often they would say yes. If they ask for more information, just respond with, I understand you want more information, but everything you need is on that video, is on that printed piece, or on the website, the link to the website. Just check it out. The fastest way for you to really understand what I'm talking about is for you to review that information. So if I give it to you, will you review it? If they say no, just thank them for their time and just move on. And also go through step 1 to 3 to see what you might have done better. But most importantly, when they say no, do not give them the information. Do not. So you went through the first 4 steps right, and the prospect said yes. They are going to watch the video, they are going to read the printed piece, or they are going to visit the website. Does it mean they will go through? Actually, no. At only about 5% will do what they said they will do. And looking at 5%, it is not a good number. To get closer to 80%, you need to complete the invitation steps professionally. So let's just move on to step 5 and see what we can do better. Step 5, first confirmation. Get the time commitment. So you have asked if I would you, and they have said yes. They will watch that video, or they will read that printed piece, or they will visit the website. The next step you need to do is to get the time commitment. All right, so let me give you some examples of what you can say. So for example, you can say something like, when do you think you can watch that video? Or when do you think you can read that printed piece? Or when do you think for sure you can visit that website? Don't suggest a time for them. Just ask the question and wait for them to respond. This question makes them think about their schedules and their commitments, then finds a place to review that too, and they will communicate that back to you. In other words, it makes it more real. The first time when you asked them if I would you and they said yes, it was someday. But when you get the time commitment, it makes it more real. The only thing is that you get the time commitment. It doesn't matter what time they give you. Just let them think about their schedules and their commitments, and let them give you a time they can for sure review your material and communicate that back to you. About 90% of the time, they will give you an answer. The other 10% of the time, they will be vague, saying something like, I'll try and watch it sometime. When they do that, just say, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Why don't we lock on a time when you can review it for sure? Remember, they already said they'll review it in step 4. This is just getting the time commitment. The key to all this is that they have said yes twice. The first time when they answered if I would you, and the second time when you received the time commitment from them. So now you can give them the 2, right? Wrong. No, you can't. You are not done yet. The professionals take a couple more seconds to complete some few steps. Let's just move to step 6. Step 6. Second confirmation. Confirm the time commitment. If they tell you, okay, I'll watch the video by Monday night, your response should be something like, so if I called you by Tuesday morning, you would have watched it for sure, right? Or if they say, okay, I'll be able to review their printed piece on Thursday morning, your response should be something like, so if I called you sometime later in the day of Thursday, you would have read it, right? Or if they say, okay, I'll be able to visit the website by 1st January, so your response should be something like, So if I called you on 2nd January, you would have responded for sure, right? It doesn't matter what time they say. Most often they will slightly adjust the time. Either way, the key to step 6 is that they've now confirmed 3 times that they are going to review your material. The key is, this is not an appointment you have set. It is an appointment they have set. You ask them, they said they will review your materials at a specific time, and when you call them after that, they would have reviewed it. You ask the questions and their answers made the appointment. Step 7, third confirmation. Schedule the next call. This step is very simple. Just ask them, what is the best number and time for me to call? They will give you what works best for them. Just remember to call them when you said you will. Now the key is that they've confirmed 4 times they are going to review your material. The whole invitation process took a couple of few minutes. Now your chances of achieving your education and understanding has been doubled from 5% to 80%. Now let's just move to step 8. Step 8, get off the phone. Remember, you are in a hurry, right? So once you confirm the appointment, the best thing to say to someone is, great, we'll talk then, I have to go. So many people make the mistake of unmaking the appointment by talking and talking and talking. Remember, that video or that printed piece or the website is going to do all the talking. So just get off the phone. Now let me give you examples for all 8 steps in a summary. Note again, just focus on getting the concept. Do not memorize the exact words, just get the concept. So let me give you some examples. So a friend who hates their job, using the direct approach, you can say something like this. Hey, I don't have a lot of time to talk right now, but it was really important that I reach you. You are one of the most intelligent people I know, and I've always liked that about you. When you told me you hated your job, were you serious or were you just kidding around? They said they were serious. I think I've found a way for you to have an exit strategy. I have a video that best explains everything I'm talking about better than I can. If I gave it to you, would you watch it? They said yes. Alright, when for sure do you think you can watch it? They said Tuesday. So if I checked on you on Wednesday, you would have reviewed it for sure, right? They said yes. What is the best number and time for me to call on? They gave what works best for them. Alright, I got it. I'll check back on you on Wednesday then. I got around. I'll check back on you later. A good friend using the indirect approach, you can say something like this. Hey, I'm heading out the door, but it was really important I talk to you real quick. Do you have a second? Right. Listen, you have been so supportive of me and I appreciate that so much. I've started a new business, but I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? He said, sure, no problem. I have a video that lays out the information in a professional way better than I can. It is about 15 minutes long. If I give it to you, would you watch it? They said yes. When for sure can you review it? They said Monday morning. So if I checked on you Monday evening, you would have watched it for sure, right? They said yes. What's the best number and time for me to call? They give the information. Alright, got it. I'll check on you Monday evening. I got around later then. A successful person using the super indirect approach, you can say something like this. You have been busy and I have a million things going on, but I'm excited I caught you. You have been widely successful and I've always respected the way you've done business. I recently started a new business and I'm looking for some sharp people. This clearly isn't for you, but I wanted to find out. Who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited to add a significant amount of cash flow to their lives? They said they do know somebody, but what is it about? Alright, I understand you want to know more about it before you recommend any person. That is okay. I have a link to a website that briefly explains everything. If I sent you one, would you check out the website? They said yes. Alright, when for sure can you visit the website? They said next Monday. Okay, so if I checked on you next Tuesday, you would have visited the website. They said yes. Thanks again. What is the best time and number for me to call? They give the information. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I'll check on you next Tuesday. A cold market prospect, someone you meet while living your life who has done an excellent job selling you something. You can say something like this. Now isn't the time to get into this and I have to go, but you are super sharp and I happen to be looking for some sharp people. May I ask you, do you plan on doing what you are doing for the rest of your career? They said no. Great, I have something that might interest you. Now isn't the time to talk about it, but I have a video that explains everything in great detail. If I give it to you, would you watch it? They said yes. When for sure can you watch it? They said Monday. So if I checked on you Tuesday, you would have watched it for sure, right? They said yes. Okay, I'll check on you then. What is the best number and time for me to call on? You give the information. Alright, I'll check on you soon. Thanks again for your excellent service. I gotta run. Are you feeling the flow how everything works? Obviously, there are so many variations for different kinds of prospects, but I hope these few examples helps you understand how everything comes together. In terms of scripts, like I always say, it is best to get the basic concepts down and use your own words. Do not focus too hard on the exact same script. Life doesn't work like that. Just learn to let the prospect know that you are in a hurry, then compliment the prospect, then make the invitation, then pass on a tool with if I would you, then get the confirmation using the processes I described. Then if you finally get off the phone, you will do just fine. Just remember, on your way to becoming a network marketing professional, there is no good or bad experiences, just learning experiences. So just practice, practice, practice.